Welcome to Athens High School's College Credit Plus presentation for the academic year of 2021-2022. My name is Suzanne Powell, and I am one of the school counselors at Athens High School, and I will be sharing information with you during this very long presentation, but we hope you can stick with it. Due to the COVID, Ohio's Department of Higher Education has encouraged remote options for this required meeting. The first part will be information shared by Athens High School, and then specific college information will be presented in the final segments of the presentation. We thank you for watching. And the question is, what is College Credit Plus? College Credit Plus is a state-funded opportunity for high school students and middle school students to earn college credit and high school credit at the same time. It is for college-ready students in grades 7 through 12, and the public colleges are free. And how does a student participate? A student must complete and submit an application to each college they want to participate in. They may apply to more than one institution. The college representatives will let students know in what format, in electronic or paper, and when their applications will be available and their application deadlines. That'll come later in today's presentation. This information can be found on the guidance website. The guidance website is identified at the bottom of the screen. And once you get to the guidance website, you'll go to the right-hand column, and under links, you'll click on CC Plus Resources and Information. This will take you to a slide that will give you all kinds of information. We'll remind you of this information at the end of this presentation. And how does a student participate? Student eligibility is based on student scores on an assessment or an overall GPA of a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, or a recommendation form or letter submitted on the student's behalf. But what does college readiness mean? Colleges will present their individual admission guidelines in just a few minutes at the end of this presentation. But in order to participate, students need to apply and be admitted into a particular college. When applying to colleges, students may apply to multiple institutions and/or take classes at more than one college at the same time. For example, we currently have many students taking College Credit Plus Math in our building through Hocking College, but they're also taking classes through Ohio University. When a student applies to colleges, colleges have the final decision on student admissions, not the high school. If a student is considered eligible and has been admitted to the college or university, then the college personnel will discuss course options with the student. Each student will be assigned an advisor from the university or college they have been accepted to. And it's exciting to think, what courses can be taken? Well, each college identifies a list of courses that are considered Level 1 courses. These are the classes that students who are just beginning in College Credit Plus are eligible to take. But don't worry, there's not just 4 or 5 classes, there are lots of classes to choose from. And continued, what courses can be taken? Students must complete 15 credits of Level 1 courses before they can move on and take classes that are considered Level 2. At each college, the list of classes of Level 1 courses are evolving. They are available on the individual college websites. Also, On the Athens High School Guidance website, we have a page of notes and links to various sites on the internet that will be helpful after this presentation. There are also links to the Level 1 courses for each college that we cover today. And what courses can be taken? Well, your college advisors will help students choose which courses they can take based on assessment scores, course prerequisites, and whether the student is involved with Level 1 or Level 2, depending on the number of credit hours a student has already completed. Some students will choose to broaden the curriculum available to them. For example, some students will choose to take the various world languages offered at Ohio University, philosophy, geography, or other courses not available to them in Athens High School. One of my favorite stories about a student choosing to broaden her curriculum, it was a few years ago when she worked her schedule around taking Arabic through Ohio University because her grandmother lived in Saudi Arabia and she wanted to improve the relationship she had with her grandmother. So she learned how to speak and write, and I just think that's a wonderful story. However, there's no right or wrong answer. Some students choose to replace specific graduation requirements with the classes that they take through CC+. What courses cannot be taken through College Credit Plus? Non-allowable courses include private courses with one-on-one instruction, courses with high fees, for example, aviation, study abroad courses, physical education courses, pass-fail graded courses, and remedial courses or religious courses. One note I want to make: during this year of COVID, some colleges are allowing students to take classes pass-fail, but I think this is a very isolated situation. And how will the grades be counted into your GPA? At Athens High School, your grades will be counted in the highest grading scale, which is currently a 6.0 scale, as well as the unweighted 4.0 scale. So a student taking a college course will be weighted the same as a student taking an AP class at Athens High School. Please remember that students will be starting his or her college transcript and their college GPA. A poor grade on a College Credit Plus class may stay with the individuals on his or her college transcript whether they earned the grade in 7th grade or in 12th grade. If a student fails a class, the grade will be applied to both the college and the high school transcripts and figured into all of the cumulative GPAs. That would be the college GPA, the weighted GPA, and the unweighted GPA at Athens High School. And now we're moving into the really boring part of this presentation about performance guidelines. While it's very boring, it is very important that you understand what this policy means. The Ohio Department of Higher Education has set up performance guidelines that must be met for students to remain in good standing and/or eligible to participate in College Credit Plus. What are the consequences of underperforming? A student will be placed on CCP probation if he or she earns below a 2.0 cumulative GPA in CC Plus course or courses, or withdraws or receives no credit from 2 or more courses in an academic term. While on College Credit Plus probation, the student, 1, may enroll in only one College Credit Plus course for one college term or semester, and 2, may not enroll in the college course in the same subject which the student previously earned a D, F, or NC grade or the equivalent. And a student may qualify for College Credit Plus dismissal if the students on CCP probation do not increase their College Credit Plus GPA to a 2.0 or above during the probation term. They will be placed on CCP dismissal. And while on CCP dismissal, students may not enroll in any College Credit Plus courses. However, there is a reinstatement program. Following one term of dismissal, a student may submit a request to the superintendent to be reinstated to College Credit Plus. The summer shall be counted as a term if the student is enrolled in one or more high school courses during the summer. However, side note, Athens High School rarely, if ever, offers high school courses in the summer, so this is unlikely an option for Athens High School students. Upon receipt of the reinstatement request, the student's full high school and college academic record will be reviewed to determine whether the student has achieved academic progress and whether he, she, or they will be reinstated on probation or without restriction. Reinstatement on probation. In order to be reinstated to the College Credit Plus program on probation, the student must meet the following academic progress criteria. A, in the grading period before reinstatement, the student must earn an unweighted GPA of at least a 2.5 and have an attendance rate of 93% during the current school year, including excused and unexcused absences, and 3, have no disciplinary actions during the current school year. Reinstatement without restriction. In order to be reinstated without any restrictions, a student must meet the following academic progress criteria. In the grading period before reinstatement, the student must earn an unweighted GPA of at least a 3.0 and have an attendance rate of 93% during the current school year, including excused and unexcused absences, and have no disciplinary actions during the current school year. If a student fails to demonstrate academic progress as previously described, the superintendent shall extend or continue the student's dismissal for an additional term or terms. During the dismissal period, the student shall remain ineligible to participate in CC Plus until academic progress is achieved. This policy was approved by the Athens City School Board during the December 20th, 2018 meeting. And finally, there is an appeal process. To request an appeal, the student must provide a written explanation to the superintendent why the student should be either 1, removed from CCP dismissal, or 2, permitted to take a course in the same subject while on CCP probation. The district superintendent will review the written explanation and make a decision and get back with the student. And again, we're sorry that we have to go through that part, but it is very important, and we hope that no students will have to deal with College Credit Plus probation, but we have to review it. So let's move on to another topic. What are the differences between high school and college? There are many differences between high school and college. One of them are tests. At the high school level, tests are sometimes given weekly or at the end of a chapter. However, in college, tests are generally fewer in number, covering more material. Recently, one of my CCP students told me that her entire grade was based on only 3 exams. She was pretty nervous about thinking that her final grade was only going to be based on 3 exams that she had to take. Another difference is the study time. At high school, required homework ranges between 1 and 3 hours per day, depending on the day of the week and the level of the courses that are taken. In college, the standard rule of thumb is 2 to 3 hours of homework for every hour spent in class. And sometimes you're in class 3 to 5 hours a day, so that's a lot of study time. Students need to be reminded that even if they're not given assigned homework, they should be reviewing their notes and reading their textbooks and watching any presentations that their professors have put online. Another difference between high school and college is knowledge acquisition. In high school, information is provided mostly in class, and out-of-class research is minimal. At the college level, coursework will generally require more independent thinking, longer writing assignments, and out-of-class research. Another difference between high school and college are grades. At the high school level, grades are often configured of numerous quizzes, tests, and homework assignments, and possibly even participation. In college, there are fewer tests and fewer, if any, homework assignments used to determine the final grade. Another difference between high school and college is the parent role. At the high school level, parents are strong advocates working closely with teachers and counselors to support their students. At the college level, the parent serves as a mentor and a support for the student, as the college views the student as an independent decision maker. We know that college classes can count for high school, but what is the college credit value? One 3-semester or more credit hour course at the college equals 1 Carnegie unit or 1 credit at the high school. So for example, if a student takes English 1510 at Ohio University or Hocking College, that is a 3 credit hour class. That class at the high school level counts as 1 whole credit or fills the entire year's worth of English requirement in just 1 semester. So at the college level, some math classes are 4 credit hour courses. Again, that will fill the whole math requirement for a year, and the student will earn 1 high school credit. A 2-semester hour college course is worth 0.66 of a high school credit, and a 1 credit hour class is worth 0.33 of a high school credit. And so some students get really excited and they're like, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to graduate in 1 year. Hold on, there's a credit limit. A student is allowed to take a maximum of 30 credits in 1 academic year. But remember, that number is a combination of Athens high school credits and college credits. The school counselors will sit with students in November of the academic year and review how many credits they have remaining to register for in the spring. We'll identify what classes they are taking at Athens High School, if they took any summer classes, and how many fall credits they're taking, and we will give them a sheet so they know what they're allowed to take in the spring. Students who participate in CC Plus beginning in grades 7 or 8 have a maximum of 120 college credits they can earn during that time. And remember, the 1/2 credit that a student earns in marching band counts in the Athens High School credit total. Books and fees. Students attending public colleges do not pay for books or fees. However, parking expenses are paid for by the student. Challenges. This program is great, but it does have challenges, and we want to make you aware of them. If a student fails a class, The Ohio Department of Higher Education allows school districts to seek reimbursement for the course. Athens City Schools has chosen the position to seek reimbursement from the student and the family for the amount of state funds paid to the college. What that means, this year, unfortunately, we had a student fail a class in the fall semester at Ohio University, and that student had to repay the school about $500. We'd like to think that all of our students are going to pass all of their classes, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So we want to make you aware that if a student fails a class, they will have to reimburse the high school for the cost of that class. Another challenge: if a student drops a course after the 14th day of the start of the course, the student will be charged for that class. So they have to make a decision and they have to follow through if they're going to drop a class. But let's talk about something good. Summer courses, yes, students can take college classes and have them paid for. These credits will count in the 30 credit total that a student can earn each year. The students must complete an intent to participate by May 1, and I'll get to that in just a second, as well as apply and be accepted for the summer term at the college where they want to take classes. The letter of intent to participate is available online on the guidance website. It must be signed and submitted by May 1 to participate. Please read both pages and initial the third page that states that you have watched this video. This is the first page of the CC Plus intent to participate, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's not difficult to complete, but it has to be filled out and submitted to the high school guidance office. Middle schoolers, you can submit it to the middle school counselor and she will get them to us. So in summary, you must submit a letter of intent to participate by May 1, give it to the Athens High School or Athens Middle School counselor, secure the applications from the colleges you wish to apply to, and meet the application deadlines for the colleges. And note that the participation in Summer College Credit Plus has an earlier application deadline than Fall 2021 CC Plus deadlines. Once you are accepted into a College Credit Plus program, the individual college will contact you and inform you about their orientation process, how to register for classes, etc. This information will come directly from the college and not from Athens High School. Actually, the students find out before the high school finds out if you've been accepted into a particular program. College Credit Plus presentation part 2. We're moving on to some different aspects of the College Credit Plus and things that are related to taking CC Plus classes. We're going to talk about high school graduation and testing and some concerns when we're scheduling classes. We want to talk about graduation from high school and the testing requirements. Our current 6th graders through 11th graders have testing requirements that they must pass in order to graduate. This is a reminder that participation in College Credit Plus does not exempt anyone from graduation credit requirements or testing requirements. Unfortunately, there are different testing requirements per graduating class. Students who graduate in the class of 2022, our current juniors, have one set of testing graduation requirements, and students who will graduate in the classes of 2023, 2024, or after have a different set of testing requirements. Briefly, for the class of 2022, our juniors, the Ohio Department of Education requires that a student meets at least one of the 3 following pathways. 1, take 7 end-of-course exams, and earn a minimum of 18 points in designated areas. That's what most of Athens high school students, that's the pathway that they are following. 2, earn an industry credential in a single career field and achieve workforce readiness in the work keys. Our students at Tri-County are taking the EOC tests, but they're also working on an industry credentialing. Or 3, college admissions test. Earn a remediation-free score in English and math on a nationally recognized college admissions exam. The state will pay for the students to take this one time in the 11th grade. So our current 11th graders will be taking that test in just a few weeks. With the end-of-course testing, there are 7 subjects. The 7 end-of-course exams are ELA 1, ELA 2, Algebra 1, Geometry, American History, Government, and Biology. Now, there's some confusion about this because College Credit Plus courses in a certain subject area will satisfy the graduation requirements in American History, American Government, and Biology. And the college course grade earned under College Credit Plus can be substituted for the end-of-course exams. The grade will equal a certain number of points in place of taking the exam. However, students must still take the biology test. This is very confusing, and we're sorry. If you have questions about this, please let Mrs. Ampabin or me know, and we'll do our best to clarify that. So, students in the class of 2022, even if they take their English, math, or biology classes through College Credit Plus, they must still participate in the end-of-course exams for ELA 1, ELA 2, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Biology. For the classes of 2023 and beyond, our current sophomores, at this time, students who are sophomores or younger will have to take the Algebra 1 and ELA 2 and earn specific raw scores. They will also have to take Biology, American History, and Government to earn the new graduation seals. There will be more information to come in the future, but we just wanted to mention the differences for those of you who have older students and they have different testing requirements of our students who are currently sophomores and younger. Concerns: scheduling. Your students will work with the college advisor to select classes. Semester exams, not the individual class sessions, may conflict with Athens high school classes. It is the student's responsibility to make arrangements with his or her Athens high school teachers to be excused from classes if there are conflicts. Okay, that is on the shoulders of the student to communicate with the Athens high school teacher. If a student chooses not to take classes in a college semester, then she or they will become a full-time Athens high school student. For example, if a student takes a CC Plus class in the fall and does not have to report to school in the last 2 periods of a day, and then they decide not to take a class in the spring semester, they will be then responsible for staying in school those last 2 periods a day when they are not taking a CC Plus class. More concerns about scheduling. There's no guarantee that you will get the college courses that you want or at the time that you want them. For example, at Ohio University, College Credit Plus students in their first semester are the last students to register. Also, students may not leave an Athens high school class early to get to a college class. In this situation, we are referring to when the students go to the campus for traditional classes and does not take them online. But again, a student may not leave an Athens high school class early to get to a college class. Also, participating in on-campus classes may reduce opportunities to participate in extracurricular activities. In high school, at this time, some students will have to make choices about whether they want to take a particular class or they want to participate in an extracurricular activity. Be a nag, but I do want to emphasize that students may not leave an Athens High School class early to get to a college class. Likewise, a student may not leave a college class early to get to an Athens High School class. This has been brought to our attention by the folks at the universities, that some of our students had been doing that in the past. Additionally, and finally, it does not matter if it's quote-unquote okay with your Athens High School teacher or the prof. It is not allowable. Another concern is signing out. If a student's Athens High School schedule in a non-COVID year is arranged that the student will leave the building third period every day for their OU or their Hawking classes and return before 8th period, the student will have to leave the building every day at third period. Our school schedule and our limited staffing does not allow us to supervise students on the days when they do not have classes. They will be expected to sign out every day at the same time. Again, Mrs. Powell the nag, emphasizing, we cannot accommodate students in the building on Tuesdays and Thursdays, for example, because they have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. It is the expectation that they will sign out every day at the same time, class or no class. This has been an issue every year as folks forget about this policy. They're not allowed to hide out in the library, go to study halls on just certain days of the week, or hide in the building even. Students must sign out every day at the same time if they're participating in CC+. Transportation. Students are responsible for making their own travel arrangements. And honestly, we discourage students from depending on other students for rides. A few years ago, we had 2 female students who were best friends at the beginning of fall semester when their college classes started, and then about October they had a falling out, and one of the students was left without transportation to her classes. So we discourage students from depending on other students for rides. Parking on college campuses can be challenging. I think anyone who's gone to a university or Hawking College will know that. And finally, make sure you have enough time to drive to and from the college and the school. There have been many times when students share with me their college schedule and their intentions to take classes at Athens High School, and I cannot in good faith agree with them. They're cutting it too close because students, again, non-COVID year, has to remember that they are getting out of their Athens High School class, signing out, walking to the parking lot, driving safely to the university, parking, and then walking to their class. And that is going to take at least 20-25 minutes to do everything safely and without being rushed. There are many times when students have only given themselves 15 minutes between classes, and I've contacted the parent and said, I just don't feel comfortable with this. So you have to make sure you give yourself enough drive time and walking time between your classes. Potential conflicts. Maybe there's a snow day at Athens High School and not at the college. What if there's a 2-hour delay at Athens High School and obviously not at the college? How do you work that out? Are the spring breaks going to be the same? It's the student responsibility to know the calendars and adhere to the rules and regulations at the high school and the college where they're taking classes. And remember, colleges do not communicate with the parents. The students must be responsible for work and their absences. And as a reminder, being college ready is more than being academically ready. The students may feel uncomfortable sitting with 20 to 23-year-old students in a class. I'm going to tell another quick story. Many years ago, one of my friends, who's about my age, and she is obviously a non-traditional student, was taking a class in a lecture hall. She noticed a young lady was an Athens high school student because she was friends with her son, who was in the high school at the time. And while she was sitting there week after week or day after day, she noticed that this college-age boy always seemed to befriend her and sit with her. And then finally, before class started, she overheard the young man asking the young girl out to the movies for the weekend. And the young lady turned to him and said, "Oh, I can't go with you. I'm not allowed to date college boys. I'm only in high school." And the boy was like, "What?" He thought he was sitting with a college-age student because students are not identified as high school students. They are treated as a college student. So needless to say, my friend swooped down and befriended that young lady because then she was sitting by herself in the next couple weeks. But students may feel uncomfortable sitting with 20 and 23-year-olds because some of their social habits are likely very different. Also, we need to remember that the curriculum taught at the college is not going to change because a student is 16 years old and taking a class. It will remain the same. Also, being college ready is more than just, well, being smart. Students are expected to have strong organizational and time management skills. Because remember, parents are not going to be able to run interference or contact the professor. The other thing that I would like to mention is that students are going to need to have exceptional and very strong communication skills. They're going to be working or taking classes through the college, and they're going to be taking classes through the high school. They may have a conflict, they may have a problem. They're going to need to be comfortable talking to their teachers, their profs, Athens High School administrators, and the Athens High School counselors. They need to have strong communication skills. Another topic, athletics eligibility. The Ohio High School Athletic Association guidelines require all student athletes be enrolled and have passed 5 courses or the equivalent in the preceding semester. One note, please make sure that Mrs. Ampabin and or me, Mrs. Powell, know that you're participating in athletics or considering participating in athletics when taking College Credit Plus classes. This is for high school students. It's very important that we know you're planning to participate in sports or you are participating in high school athletics. Now let's talk about advantages of the program. I know a lot of the things I'm talking about is I'm throwing caution to the wind, caution, worry, but there are so many advantages. As mentioned, there's an expanded curriculum. Number 2, students can experience college-level work and college life before making a final decision about post-secondary education. I like that students will take a class or two and kind of ease their way into college experience before actually immersing themselves after they graduate high school. Also, classes at the college level can be academically challenging and can cover areas of a particular interest. That's kind of the expanded curriculum part. Also, the obvious advantage is that students can take credits with them when they go to a public college in the state of Ohio. Many of these classes will transfer seamlessly to other colleges. College Credit Plus presentation part 3. Trust me, you all don't have to listen to me too much longer as we're narrowing it down to the application part and listening to some of the admissions folks from the colleges. The application process. College representatives will identify their individual application process and any testing requirements that are required for admissions into their own CC Plus programs. Remember, the programs differ from university to university. Application review. You may submit your letter of intent when convenient, but it is due by May 1st. If you read the announcements from the Athens High School Guidance Office each week that come out, you will see reminders about the letter of intent. Also, if colleges have a June 1 application deadline, Athens High School needs the student to submit their completed application by Monday, May 24th, so we can sign and attach a transcript and forward your application to the institution. College Credit Plus individual college information. Washington State Community College. Washington State has shared just a few slides with us and asked me to review some of their information. At Washington State, they call this the early college options at WSCC. One, Early College Academy is either taking CCP classes on Washington State's campus or online. That's the traditional College Credit Plus program. Number two, Dual Enrollment Program is when students take College Credit Plus classes at their high school. Unfortunately, we do not offer that option at Athens High School. And the Early Enrollment Program at Washington State Community College is open to 10th through 12th graders, and that program covers tuitions. However, the students are responsible for fees and books. So really, at Washington State Community College, we are gearing in on the Early College Academy. The enrollment process, as a reminder, number 1, to submit the letter of intent to the high school counselor by May 1. Number 2, complete the Washington State online application at www.wscc.edu/apply. Request that the high school counselor submit a high school transcript. Number 4, complete placement testing if necessary, and they will let you know if you need placement testing. And then 5, you meet with a WSCC college pathway advisor if enrolling in Early College Academy. Here's the contact information for the Washington State Community College folks. Jason, in the lower left-hand corner, is our contact, and so I would encourage you, if you need help at Washington State, to reach out to him. Hocking College is another college that partners with Athens High School. And they've shared with us some of their PowerPoint slides, and I will go through them with you. Katie Walters is the contact, and she is the director of College Credit Plus, and her goal is to help parents understand the affordable college options that exist for their students with CC Plus. And again, what is CCP? College Credit Plus, or CCP, is Ohio's dual enrollment program, meaning they're getting credit in both high school and college, providing students in grades 7 through 12 the opportunity to earn college and high school credits at the same time. How does College Credit Plus work? CCP enhances the student's career readiness and post-secondary success while providing a wide variety of options to college-ready students at no or limited cost to the students and their families. Katie also wants you to know that students must be eligible for CCP based on assessment exam scores, the ACT, SAT, or AccuPlacer. Scores must indicate readiness for college-level coursework in at least one subject area, writing, reading, and/or math, using statewide standards. Students may be considered for eligibility if the student scored within the conditional range and meets one of the following criteria: a 3.0 cumulative GPA, or the student obtains a recommendation from a school counselor, principal, or career technical advisor. Katie also wants you to know that you can take classes during the summer, fall, and spring semesters. Students may be enrolled up to 30 semester credit hours per year, including the high school courses. At the bottom, she gives the little formula that I mentioned earlier that we'll sit with students to figure out how many credits a student can take in a semester. The benefits of College Credit Plus: 1. Earning college credit while in high school. 2. Potentially graduating with an associate's degree. 3. In most cases, it's totally free to the student's family. Yes, even the books are free. 4. You get to test the waters and find out what program is right for you. And 5. Certain courses transfer and satisfy degree requirements at other Ohio public colleges and universities. However, Katie also wants to share the potential risks of CCP. 1. Students who fail courses may be required by their school districts to reimburse the cost of tuition and books. And as established earlier, Athens High School will ask for reimbursement. 2. Financial aid eligibility as a degree-seeking student is based on degree completion within a certain time period. Course credits earned through College Credit Plus will count in determining this eligibility. And 3, grades received through CCP are reflected twice, on the high school and college transcripts. On both transcripts, grades will affect reflective GPAs. Low grades could negatively impact future college admissions and financial aid opportunities. The pathways are designed to give students an idea of what a career field may look like and to get an early start on a degree in that field. You can read the programs that they are advertising. And finally, a common question: can my student take classes online? And yes, Katie said you can take hawking classes 100% online from anywhere in the state. Many of the online classes are at your own pace, so you can work at your own schedule. The course structure. Most hawking courses run for 8 weeks rather than the traditional 16 weeks. This means that high school students have even greater control over their schedules and can build opportunities around their busy lives. Application deadlines. If you plan to take classes or a class at Hawking in the summer, your application deadline is April 24th, 2021, as the classes begin May 10th. However, I want to remind students that Athens High School is still in session, so this may not be an option. Fall, your application deadline is July 31st, with classes beginning August 16th. And if a student wants to wait until spring, their application deadline is December 18th, with classes beginning on January 10th, 2022. The University of Rio Grande created their own 7-minute presentation covering much of the material that you've already heard, as well as identifying application information particular to their college. The presenter's information is on the slide following the presentation should you have questions.
Hello, and welcome to this year's College Credit Plus information session. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I am Sierra Small, the College Credit Plus coordinator for the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College. I know that you just went through the state PowerPoint earlier in the evening. If you haven't, the video is up for you to look at there as well and have a lot of questions. I won't go through that again, but if you do have any questions for me, just give me a call or a text or an email. My contact information is on your handout sheet and will be posted at the end of the video again. Feel free to take a picture of my contact information to use at your disposal. Now, I'm here to help guide you through the CCP application process for the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College. As you probably already know, not all colleges use the same CCP application process. But after you turn in your letter of intent to the state, to your high school, then you're able to start applying to colleges for CCP. The first thing that you need to do is go to rio.edu and then click on our College Credit Plus webpage. After that, you'll scroll down just a few paragraphs and click the application and fill that out. After you fill that out, have your guidance office send us a transcript, and then your first step is completed. after that, you're going to get an email from me specifically, and it'll ask you to sign up for a placement test. We use the AccuPlacer, RightPlacer, and the ACT to assess eligibility here at the University of Rio Grande. Not all schools do use that, but it's pretty common. Here's your ACT scores that you would need to get out of placement testing. Make sure that you turn in ACT scores if you've already taken it, because it can get you out of the placement test. The AccuPlacer, RightPlacer. It's just a step you can skip. There are a few different types of eligibility that you can take part in after taking the placement test. We have fully eligible. Fully eligible means that you scored college ready on both the AccuPlacer and the RightPlacer. So you are ready for both math and English courses at the college level. To be fully eligible, you would need a AccuPlacer score of a 263 or higher and a RightPlacer score of a 5 or higher. There's also two different categories where you're not quite ready for one or the other, but you can still take classes. We have English accepted, which means that you got a 5 or higher on your RightPlacer eligibility test, but you didn't quite score high enough on your AccuPlacer test. So you would be able to take English classes at the college level, but you wouldn't be able to take your math classes at the college level quite yet. The other one is just the opposite. You scored high enough on your math AccuPlacer, but you're not quite ready for English courses yet. So that's completely fine. Same scores as before for college ready. And then there is conditionally eligible. Conditionally eligible is kind of a tricky level. That means that you are not quite ready for either English or math classes at the college level, but you could take other elective type classes. In order to get into the conditionally eligible range, you would have to score either a 259 to 263 on your AccuPlacer or a 4 on your RightPlacer. With that, you would also have to have a 3.0 GPA to get accepted into that tier. After you're deemed eligible or not from our AccuPlacer and placement tests, you'll get another email from me detailing your new RIO advisor. So if you're accepted, you're going to get a RIO advisor's contact information, and we'll ask you to contact them ASAP, either through email or phone. After you do that, you're going to be able to have a registration appointment, an advising appointment, and schedule your college classes. It's that easy. Now I want to introduce you to Rio Grande a little bit now that you've applied and been accepted. Not everything is just getting your classes. You would want to be kind of familiar with our campuses as well. We have 4 different campuses that you can take on campus courses with. So you can come to Rio Grande and take courses on their campus. We have main campus, which is our biggest location, and 3 different local centers in different counties. For main campus, our largest location, as I just said, we have 7 classroom buildings, 5 dorms, cafeteria, bell tower, student services building with cafe, advising center, and free tutoring center, as well as several different other things like athletic complexes. With that, this is where my office is, so if you ever have any questions, always pop into main campus. For our academic centers, they are all one complete cozy building in your various counties. So there's one in Meigs, Benton, and in Jackson County. So there's always a Rio Grande campus close to your high school, never very far away. You're always greeted with a friendly face at these campus centers due to the fact their secretary offices are right next to the front door. A lot of our CCP students have made their academic home at our academic centers. At all our Rio Grande centers, an advisor is always right there next to you. We always have a Rio Grande advisor at all of our campuses and centers. You can always contact them if you have any questions. We do have 2 other different ways to take CCP classes if you're not quite ready for a Rio Grande campus. We have in-house classes at your high school. At some high school locations, we do have CCP classes taught by your high school teachers, so you can get CCP credit without ever leaving your high school. Make sure to contact your guidance counselor to see if that could be right for you. We also have online classes, so you don't have to come to a campus. They aren't at your high school, you would take it online. Be warned, that's a little hard for some learners to not have a professor present at all times. That was a lot of information, I know, but if you do have any questions, I am always available to help. My contact information is over here. Feel feel free to take a picture with your phone, call me, text me, email me at any time, and I'll be able to help you with your questions. Thank you so much for attending again. Bye. I hope to see you soon.
And again, here's Sierra Small's contact information, if you didn't have time to get it from the video. The last college we're going to highlight is Ohio University.
Hello, my name is Heather Martin, and I serve as the Assistant Director for Dual Enrollment Programs at Ohio University. I'm here today to talk to you about the College Credit Plus program at Ohio, and to specifically focus on our Emission Guidelines and our application procedures to help you prepare for the upcoming 2021-2022 academic year. So to get us started, let's first talk about what is College Credit Plus. This is a statewide program in Ohio that provides academically qualified students in grades 7 through 12 access to college-level coursework prior to graduating from high school. Students interested in the College Credit Plus program should be prepared to take courses that are designed for mature audiences and will academically and socially challenge them. The College Credit Plus program promotes rigorous academic pursuits and provides a wide variety of options to college-ready students. Upon successful completion of college courses under this program, students not only earn transferable college-level credit, but also satisfy high school graduation requirements simultaneously. So this is a brief overview of the College Credit Plus program at the state level, but let's shift our focus to talk more about what the program looks like specifically at Ohio University. First off, the College Credit Plus, or the CC Plus program, as you may hear it referred to, is present on all 6 of our Ohio University campuses. While students are able to apply to any Ohio campus, for best access to support services, we do recommend that students attend a campus within their geographic area. We've provided a list here of all 6 of our Ohio campuses and have indicated the geographic areas for which they serve based on counties. We're hoping that this information helps you determine which Ohio campus may be the best for you to apply to. In terms of admission guidelines, the admission process for CC Plus on any of Ohio University's campuses is modeled on the same review process in place for degree-seeking freshmen. Please note that admission to Ohio CC Plus program does not guarantee admission as a degree-seeking student. So if you are thinking about Ohio University as a potential option for you after you graduate from high school, I would recommend reaching out to the undergraduate admissions office for more information on what the degree-seeking application looks like and what the next steps in that process may be for you. We've included a link here to the undergraduate admissions office website as a starting resource for you if you are interested in that process. Continuing on with admission guidelines, it's important to note that in determining CC Plus admissibility, all available data points that a student includes with their CC Plus application will be considered as part of our holistic review process. We've included a list here of various data points that students include with their application and that we're considering as part of our review. So things like the strength and rigor of a student's curriculum, class rank, grades, grade point averages, test scores, letters of recommendation. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, but we're hoping that it will give you an idea for the types of information that we're looking at when reviewing a student's application. Ohio University also strongly recommends that all applicants to the CC Plus program complete the following college preparatory high school courses. We've included a list of subject areas and their corresponding units here as a point of reference, but I do want to note that this is a recommendation by the university and not a requirement for students applying to the CC Plus program. When we talk about the College Credit Plus program, it is certainly important to talk about student eligibility. Historically, standardized test scores and placement exams have been utilized to determine a student's eligibility for the program. For enrollment in CC Plus, students must demonstrate remediation-free status in both English and reading areas based on the exam that they're supplying with their application. And for participants who wish to enroll in a math course or any other course with a math requisite, in addition to demonstrating remediation-free status in both English and reading, those students also need to demonstrate remediation-free status in math. Historically, for students applying to the Athens campus, the ACT and SAT scores have been accepted. And for the upcoming 2021-2022 academic year, if students applying to the Athens campus do have an ACT or SAT score they would like to submit, they're certainly welcome to do so, and we will utilize that in determining program eligibility. In terms of our 5 regional campuses at Ohio University, they have also historically accepted the ACT or SAT exam. A difference that I did want to note is that the regional campuses also administer and accept the AccuPlacer exam as well. Moving forward for the upcoming academic year, if a student does have an ACT, SAT, or AccuPlacer exam they would like to submit, they're certainly welcome to do so. And again, that information will help to determine program eligibility. With the current pandemic, we realize that testing has proven to be a challenge. And based on guidance and flexibility provided by the Ohio Department of Higher Education, in some cases, standardized exams or placement scores will not be required to complete a CC Plus application for the upcoming academic year. All applicants to Ohio's CC Plus program with the 3.0 or higher cumulative high school GPA will be considered for admission regardless of submission of an exam score. I do want to note, though, that just because a student has a 3.0 GPA, this does not guarantee admission to the program. Students will also need to demonstrate college level preparation for admission, and if admitted, will need to meet necessary requisites for a specific course enrollment as well. So the 3.0 GPA will certainly be a piece of our review process, but certainly does not guarantee admission. For applicants with a cumulative high school GPA that is below a 3.0, these applicants may still be considered for admission if qualifying exam scores can be provided. So going back to the previous slide where we were talking about the ACT, the SAT, or in the case of our regional campuses, the AccuPlacer exam, we would be looking for remediation-free status to be demonstrated in those English and reading areas if a student's GPA is below the 3.0 threshold. So we've talked about our admission guidelines and the information that we're reviewing, but I certainly want to shift focus and talk about our application procedures. And what we've included here is an application checklist of those items that you would need to submit to the undergraduate admissions office to have your application be considered complete. So first and foremost is a CC Plus application for admission. If you visit Ohio University's dual enrollment programs website, we actually will have 2 versions of the application available to students for any given academic term. There's a PDF version as well as an online version. There certainly is no preference as to which you complete, but we would need one of those completed and submitted to start the application process. The second material that would be needed is the CC Plus signature page. This is a document that requires 3 distinct signatures to be considered complete. The first is that of the student who is applying to the program. The second is of a parent or legal guardian of the student applying. And the third is of the secondary school guidance counselor for that student. What I do want to mention is if you're filling out the PDF version of our application, the signature page is actually embedded in that PDF document. So as you're filling out that material, you'll simply just fill out the signature page as well. If you're filling out the online version of our CC Plus application, the CC Plus signature page is not included. So right below the link where the online application is accessed, there'll be a link for the signature page where you can access that document as well. Official transcripts sent from the secondary school to Ohio University will be required. If a student is a middle school applicant and does not necessarily have a high school transcript as of yet, what we would need in place of that information would be 7th and/or 8th grade reports, where appropriate based on the student's grade level to review. And last but not least, we have indicated ACT or SAT scores here, again, noting if those are available, but going back to based on the student's GPA, those scores may not be required to determine program eligibility. At the bottom of the screen here, we've included the mailing address for the undergraduate admissions office, and students are certainly welcome to mail their documents to us. or those materials can also be submitted electronically via the admissions@ohio.edu email address. So we've talked about what you need to complete. So let's talk about when those items need to be submitted to the undergraduate admissions office. And we've included a chart here with the entering term of interest for the student and also the application and transcript deadline. I do want to note that all application materials must be submitted either electronically or be postmarked by the posted deadlines that we've published here. In very rare cases, will admission materials be accepted late. So please be very mindful of what those published deadlines are for the term of interest that you would like to apply to. I also want to note that for students who are interested in starting and applying to the CC Plus program at Ohio for the summer term, the second session would be the term that you would apply to and start in. The first summer session is only available to students who are continuing within the CC Plus program at Ohio. So as we conclude our presentation today, I did want to end by sharing again my name and my contact information. I am certainly happy to be a CC Plus resource for you if you have any follow-up questions based on the information I shared, or perhaps need any clarification based on the details that were presented today. I've also included a link at the bottom where you can copy and paste this material to be able to access our list of College Credit Plus contacts at all 6 of our Ohio University campuses. If you are interested in applying to the Athens campus, I'm certainly happy to be a resource for you, but this link will allow you to access the campus-specific contact for any of our 5 regional campuses as well. Thank you so much for your time today, and we certainly look forward to following up.
On one slide, we wanted to summarize all 4 of the colleges that we heard from today or read their information and the contact's name with their phone number and their email address. So if you have specific questions about a certain college or their program, you can reach out directly to those persons. And as I mentioned earlier, on Athens High School's guidance website, and the site address is right here, we have an information document, but you can go to Athens High School guidance website and it'll look something similar to this, and in the right-hand column under links, you'll see an area called College Credit Plus with a link to the this presentation. And the next link is CC Plus Resources and Information. If you click on that, it will take you to this type of information where you can click on the link and you can click on the CCP Letter of Intent to Participate, the Athens City School Parent and Guardian Understanding, which is to be submitted with a letter of intent, and all kinds of information and direct links to applications and other handouts. We thank you for watching this very long presentation tonight, but we really believe that the benefits outweigh the pain of watching an hour worth of CC Plus information. It's a fantastic program, but there are a lot of considerations that need to be taken place before a student applies or starts taking classes. Again, thank you for watching and have a great day.